In this week's article, I want to talk about making the decision whether to or whether not to apply fungicides on your cornfields this year. Hi, I'm Mike Zwingman, Agronomy R&D Manager for Central Valley Ag. This is your Monday Agronomy Update video that coincides with the Reach Out article in the CVA blog site. You know, I talk a lot about spending your dollar correctly, getting the most return on investment out of every dollar you spend. And there's a way to do that when you talk about fungicide applications. Too many times we go out and we might think we're going to go an all or nothing strategy. But today, in this market economy, we need to be smarter with our money, we need to be more tactical with our decision making, and we need to get to the bottom of the topics and understand what's going to drive that return on investment. So I want you to think about prioritizing your fields. Yes, I've talked about that with nitrogen management. I've talked about that with yield goals, and it holds true today when we talk about fungicide applications. But we're going to prioritize our fields on a few different categories. The first one is still going to be that yield potential. We want to take those fields with the greatest amount of yield potential and put them to the top of the list. And then we need to go through and we need to sort through the hybrids you've planted. And here's where you and your FSA can work together. Through the answer plot system and the research Winfield United has done, we have a response to fungicide curve on most, if not all, the hybrids you might have in your portfolio. So we can go through and we can look at those hybrids and how they respond to a fungicide application. This is critical because the lower response curves, the lower our probability of getting a positive return on investment. The higher the response curves, the greater our opportunity is, and the more likely we're going to see a benefit by spraying that fungicide. We want to know how a 5 to 7 bushel average comes across all applications because we're taking in the lows and the highs. If we take out the lows and focus on the highs, we can move that yield increase up and capture your return on investment the way we want to. The third thing we need to do is be smart and use the right pest management strategy. We could easily go too early and we could have an issue with diseases down the road and have to spray again. We want to make sure we're scouting our fields appropriately and getting our timing just right so we can have enough residual to go throughout the rest of the growing season and still impact that yield with the absence of disease. These are all critical factors for you to make sure we're making the right decision and spending that money in exactly where you need to influence your bottom line. This is a commitment our FSAs and our teams have made to you. This is a great benefit from the R7 tool and the answer plot system from Winfield United. This is a way for us to help you make better decisions, not just today, but in the future. As always, be safe, and we'll see you next week.